So, probably should stand. Didn't adjust the camera the right way. So tonight we're gonna do the flying lessons transfer. I have been dying to do this one. I don't know why it's taken me this long. And I'm also gonna be using this stuff here. So I did a couple little test things earlier today. I wanna knock the camera down. Of how to do this the best way. I kind of think the best way is going to be if I just ink the shirt and then come back over and paint the glow in the dark stuff on. I've never used this before other than testing it out today. This is it says it's washable and everything, but I don't know. Really glows the best when you literally hold it right up to the light and then turn the lights off and it kind of goes away. But I thought it would be just a fun little thing to try. So let me tip this down. Oh, and of course I have the camera flipped the wrong way, so I have to kind of come like this to see. Let's see. All right, so let me just get this into the groups. Well, that would have been hilarious. I almost just fell over my own feet. Let's see. So, share this out. Oh my goodness. So, how crazy is all this wind? I thought for sure I'd be out here and you could just hear it, but either it's not windy now or it is just too much else going on in here because I have a heater on and everything. Let me just share this to myself. Oh my god, that is the goofiest little preview picture. That was kind of funny. So that is something that Facebook always kind of torments you with are the little preview pictures. As I went to share that, I had the weirdest look on my face and I was holding this and anyway. So this one's called Flying Lessons, just like it says there. And this is gonna be really quick tonight. I've already took the shirt and put it on my mat. So it's you've seen me use it before. If not, I'll just kind of give a little peek of it because I actually have it nice and arranged here. So it's kind of just right in here, it's a sticky. So it's not so sticky that, it's gonna be difficult to pull the shirt off. It's kind of just enough that it helps hold the shirt nice and smooth while you're working. And you want to make sure that you're not gonna have wrinkles underneath here because otherwise it'll come through in your design. Something else with the mats and doing, the transfers and ink and everything, you want to be careful too as you're putting your shirt on the sticky surface. You're not as you're smoothing out the wrinkles, you're not stretching it. So you just kind of have to be mindful of that. So for this one, I'm only gonna use this the words and the center design. I'm not gonna do this border because if I do not have this on here perfectly, this squared off border is gonna just let everyone know that I screwed up. So because it's a shirt and it's fabric, I'm gonna just kind of leave that part off and just peel the backing away and just take it and flip it over. And you can it's sticky, but you're gonna be able to move it around. I'm actually gonna move to the side so I can see. I don't wanna have the design up too high or too low. It's just kind of eyeballing it here. A little bit more this way. I did another shirt. This was a while ago for an event, and it had all wording. It's I was off just a little bit, and I feel I have to when I wear this shirt kind of shift it over. Otherwise, it looks crooked. All right, so let's see. So now this area here, this is your open area. So you want to kind of start pressing down in the middle here. So if there's any of your open areas, or that's where it's going to give you trouble if you have trouble. and kind of just go out from the center, so that if you have like a little air bubble, you can push it away. So hopefully that's centered enough. And I do have this little tape here. I'm not gonna like tape it all the way around, but just kind of as I'm going to remind myself that I'm not using these little, you know, using this part, or like this is kind of close. I'm just gonna tape over it just as a little, you know, reminder. Sometimes you get carried away and go right off of your, you know, off of your design. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna come back in after and do this. So I did a little test fabric. Now of course, like I can't like, you know, turn the lights off, otherwise this is gonna be like a really stupid video. You might be able to see the white on here. So I mixed this with the white, because it says to mix it with like a light colored, you could mix it with a light colored paint or like fabric paint. I also tried to do it just using just this, and I mean, I know you can't see it because I can barely see it here. It kind of gives like a little yellowy tinge. I think we all know, like when we were little and we had glow in the dark things, that kind of yellow tinge. I was a little disappointed it didn't stay like bright, but you know, I thought it would be fun to at least come back in and do this part, glow in the dark. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I was like trying that out all earlier today. So again, just make sure you don't have any bubbles. And just remember too, with ink, we're gonna just work in one direction. You don't wanna, like with the paste, it's not as important, you know, going, you know, say like filling this in, going all over, but we wanna try to make it not push under any of the edges. Just kind of look at it from the side too, so you can be sure that you're, you know what, I'm gonna use this just so that I don't make a mess on my sleeve of my shirt. And as far as like where I get shirts, I usually kind of just get them at, I mean, I don't want to like endorse any place, but just, you know, inexpensive shirts. I'm not gonna like use some like expensive shirt and then if I mess up, it's, you know, a waste. But I have 2 squeegees here, so I'm probably gonna actually just stick with the small one, just so I don't mess up. All right. Actually, I think I have to stand so I don't hit this line. So I'm just gonna come over. And again, keeping it all the same direction. You can go over spots, you know, again, but it's the only thing. I feel like I can't talk and do this at the same time. So I'm just using Storm ink. And I don't know, I thought of maybe using other colors in here, but I wanted to kind of be like a little subtle. Actually, there's little flecks of white in here. I must have done something and not been careful. So it will have other colors in it. Ooh. Also like chunks in there too. But all right, so this is the part we have to be really careful about because there's a lot of open space. I was just thinking, like all the projects I've been doing have all been like ink projects. I think I did like the, oh see, I wanted to turn and go the other way. What was the other shirt I just did with the skeleton? I don't know, I used to be so afraid of the ink. I guess it's like, because it's so permanent. But now I actually kind of prefer it. But then, you know, how many like shirts and things can I really make? Because I wear all the ones I make, so. Again, I'm starting on the teal part and then pulling into. All right, so I have these lines. I really want to not have those. I don't know how much they'll show up. So. And kind of getting off this extra. see. So who is watching baseball tonight? I know I'm not. Let's see. Just kind of just keep going over. I say I should get like a counter height table, because I find I end up standing most of the time, and it's like so awkward when you're. So you could do something like this, and you could just use parts of it, use the whole thing, or you know, like I'm doing here, I'm kind of leaving out the frame. That's probably way too much. Just depending on what you're doing. All right, let's see if there's any areas that I need to get. Totally should have clipped my hair back. All right, it looks like I got everything. This is gonna be like a super fast live. Just trying to see. All right, I have the cap over here. And again, you always with ink, you know, check your fingers, make sure you don't have ink on them. You know, move your stuff out of the way so that you don't get ink on the part of the shirt you don't want ink on. I'm just gonna peek underneath because I just wanna make sure that this works. So this might look a little kind of distressed looking, but ooh, oh, it did make the lines, but that's all right. And there it is. So I may come in and kind of touch that up. I'm not gonna put this back down. So the only reason that happened was I probably, let me just put this down here. I probably used a little bit different pressure right there, so that's all. So I'm gonna not put my arm in that right there. Just kind of, I can always too, after this dries, kind of come back over with the transfer and do this part again. I don't care that it's not like perfectly filled in. I just don't want it to be like not filled in at all around the witch here. Just kind of like darken that edge up a little bit. Just to kind of, because if you look at the transfer, it does have like little specks and marks that are, you know, not filled in. Oops. All right, and I see one other spot I want to kind of fix here. I feel like I'm like holding my breath. And let me just get these little stars. It almost kind of looks a little silvery, even though it's just the gray. Which actually, that would have been really pretty too, to do it in the silver. So this is like right there where I just did that slightly raised, but when I iron it, it'll kind of go down a little bit. So yeah, earlier today I tried putting that glow in the dark stuff in, and it really just, I don't know, didn't make a ton of difference, but that's a little bit much. It was so like faint when I mixed it with the paste, but then I kind of tried it, you know, I painted it on over, and actually in the directions it says you probably need a couple coats of it, so I was like, well, that works. All right, I think I'm happy with this, and I'm gonna just leave it like that. Oh, you see, I say that, and then I'm like, oh, one more little spot. I just wanna. Because I just can't Sometimes you have to know when to like just stop, and I'm probably gonna regret it because I would just go too far. So yeah, so you just have to be careful of how much pressure you're putting on so that you're going evenly. All right, so that's it. So I'm gonna just let this, dry, and then I will heat set it, and then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna paint over. I think I'm just gonna paint over the moon with the glow in the dark stuff, which you won't really see obviously unless the light is off. And I'll try to take a picture of it with the light off. Just so tune in tomorrow night. I have another project, and I'll give you a little hint of the project. We're going to be doing something with this. It's just a wood scrap. It's actually a sign that I carted around to a bunch of different shows and it never sold, so I just hacked it up. So I'll let you know tomorrow at some point what time I'm going to come on, but probably about the same time. All right, have a good night.